I was holding resentment and anger towards my parents for almost 30 years. And the hardest part is I didn't know how to let go. I know that they were good parents actually, and I know that they provide what they could, and I know that they love me the only way they know how to. But the thing is, I feel like I did a lot of inner work on myself, and still every time I go home, I got triggered. One sentence, one tune that I've never asked for, and I got triggered again. I felt like 12 years old. I was triggered and angry and defensive. And I hate that version of myself, but I don't know how to stop it. And if you resonate with this, stay tuned in this video because I'm gonna talk about the exact thing I did to free myself from feeling this resentment for almost 30 years. And the generational pattern I spot on my family dinner table. And the last one is how do you actually do after you see the pattern. And this video is not about blaming your parents, and it's not about forcing forgiveness. It's about having the clarity that finally set us free. And before I tell you what actually changed everything, I want to give you a background context. I was growing up in a very traditional Asian family, Asian parenting. Everything is about doing the right thing, getting good grades, and doing what's safe, and like don't explore yourself and stuff like that. And this just, this kind of interaction just turns into resentment that builds throughout my life because in adulthood, if something that feels wrong or I feel like I was struggling, I was behind in life, and I would think about what if they raised me differently? Maybe I wouldn't struggle like this. And I didn't want to continue feeling like this because holding this resentment is not going to help our dynamic, and it's just taking away the fact that I have the power to build my own life, and my life is actually my own responsibility. But it just, I don't know how to shift my mindset until I do this. In psychology, it's called decentering, because once we are still in that pattern, we cannot see clearly. Decentering is when you step back from an emotional role and you actually try to observe outside of the dynamic. So I made this decision this Chinese New Year. I'm gonna go back home. I'm not going back to argue. I'm not going back to fight with them. I'm just going to observe the family dynamic as a third person point of view to see what's really going on in our family interaction. And that's just something that completely shift my mindset about how the way I feel towards my parents. So this happened on a dinner table where the TV is here and my dad is like saying sit next to the TV is the best seat. And I was like, but I want to watch TV. If I sit there, I cannot watch TV. And he just not listening to what I was saying and keep insisting on that is the best seat. So I got frustrated and I raised my voice because he was not listening. And exact that moment, it triggered me and I was feeling so pissed because I feel like I put so much time and effort to work on myself, and as soon as this happened, I got triggered. So I was really pissed. I went back to my room trying to calm myself down, saying that I need to observe it, not reacting from it. And suddenly I hear something that is completely changing. I hear my grandmother is having the conversation with my dad, and the dynamic, it's exactly what just happened a minute ago, what happened between me and my dad. She was insisting on something, and my dad is trying to explain why he doesn't want to do it, but she just not listening. She just, trying to make her statement. And at that time, at that point, I just see it so clearly. I see that, okay, my dad, he is actually a victim as well, because this is clearly a generational dynamic that's passed on to next generation without even noticing it. It's just unconscious dynamic pattern repeat itself again and again. So it completely shifts the story from my dad is controlling to my dad had never learned another way. And this realization just made me feel like, okay, he's not the one to blame. He's not the source. And who knows who did that to my grandmother. And that just relieved my resentment, because they just simply unaware of what's happening. And but the thing is, what do we actually do after we see this pattern? I think what I did in the beginning was I was trying to communicate with them, and hopefully they can understand this pattern and change. But let me tell you, reality is not usually how it works, because we cannot force someone's awareness, because it's not something we can give. It's like if someone needs glasses, they see everything blur, and you can, buy them the best glasses possible, or you can explain them the blur, but until they feel their vision is like blurring, they will not wear glasses. And until they are so tired of this pain and this inconvenience repeat itself over and over again, nothing will change. It's just how human works. So what do we actually do in this situation? I can share with you what I did. Firstly, I tell them how I feel, like very calmly and honestly and directly. I said, when this happens, I feel unheard, and it will make me shut down. I will get triggered. And I'm not blaming them for doing something. I'm just simply telling them how I was feeling if something happens. And then I state my boundaries. I tell them that I'm not available in the conversation that ignores my voice. And if this happens, I will need space to process it. And it's not about, I was trying to punish them for that. It's just the reality is this is okay for me and this is not okay for me. And I said it very, very clearly. And I accept that they may never change. They may never change. And this step, it's really like just for us to free ourselves, because if we keep holding this vision that they will change because they are our parents, they should change because they love me, then we are constantly waiting for them to wake up. We are constantly, trying to save them, and we are actually carrying the inner work that is not our responsibility at the first place. And I believe that we need to respect the free will, because even though they are our parents, yeah, you can say they should be the adult. No, they should be the adult that do the inner work and stop this dynamic. But the thing is, we should also respect the free will. We cannot ask anyone to change for us, even though they're our parents. And it's just, accept this. It's freeing for yourself. And lastly, I choose to protect my peace. I just stopped to participate in this dynamic. I realized that I can love them, I can care for them, but I don't need to repeat this dynamic. I can step outside of it and realizing this is not something I caused and it's not my responsibility to fix this. And in the end, I learned that I heal not because I fixed my parents, it's because I decided something that wasn't mine to carry, then just drop it. And if you resonate with this video, I really truly hope you find inner peace with this situation. I know it's really hard, and I just want you to know that you're not alone in this. And if you get triggered easily and you have anger issue, I highly recommend you to watch the video on here. I talk about I used to be an angry person, and hopefully that video will help you in some way. And thank you for being here. This is the space between us. It's a space where we have honest conversation about our life, and especially the old system, the old world doesn't make sense anymore. And it's a community. You're welcome to join and share your stories in the comment section. I would love to hear about them. And thank you for being here. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.